Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The war in Ukraine will mark 1 year next month, and despite conflicting reports from both countries, Russia has admitted that at least 63 soldiers were killed in a blast in eastern Ukraine a day ago. Ukrainian officials are putting that number at well over 100. Either way, tragedy in eastern Ukraine. For more on all this, let's welcome in Senior Fellow at the Heritage Foundation and former Deputy National Security Advisor Victoria Coates, back with us for the first time this new year. Victoria, Happy New Year to you. Good to see you.
Happy New Year, Rob.
Can you take us through what might have gone on here? The Russian army reporting that there were 63 deaths. Ukraine says the number might be closer to 200. We've seen this throughout the war. Which side do you tend to believe?
Well, I think the truth is usually somewhere in the middle, and the Ukrainians have said they are calling these casualties. So these are wounded as well as deceased Russian soldiers, but there's no getting around the fact that it's a major hit. And these mounting casualties really should be a significant problem for Vladimir Putin. I mean, this is the sort of thing that it becomes extremely unpopular at home,
right,
when young men disappear or return in body bags. And I think the fact that the Ukrainians are continuing to have these successes with the weapons that we've been providing means we really have to take a good hard look at this as we stare down 1 year of the war and decide, are we in it to win it, or are we just perpetuating a stalemate?
Republicans will take control of the House one way or another today. We'll see if Kevin McCarthy becomes Speaker, but they'll start that process just about 3.5 hours. Republicans like Senator Rand Paul in the House, Kevin McCarthy himself, Congressman Thomas Massie, they've made it very clear that they want more transparency into where the billions of American taxpayer dollars are being spent specifically in Ukraine. Do you think we get that with a GOP-controlled Congress?
I think we have to. And, the president so far has had his as much as it takes, as long as it takes, and that's been sufficient because he's had majorities in both houses of Congress. And what I think Republicans have to reject is this binary choice between being a Putin sympathizer and giving the president a blank, undated check. There has to be some accountability here. As you said, the Ukrainians have asserted to us at the Heritage Foundation that they are taking unprecedented transparency measures. Great. Then go to the Freedom Caucus. Tell them what you're doing. Make them your best friends in Congress. This can happen. But with the pictures that you're showing, with using Zelensky as a political pawn, having him there in front of the lame duck speaker and the vice president instead of whomever the new Republican speaker is going to be, if he had come, say, next week, that would have been, I think, a much more powerful message that Ukraine was speaking to all Americans, not just to the Democrats.
Interesting point. Victoria, do you think that this war will end in the new year?
Well, President Zelensky, when he was here, was certainly indicating he thought, the 6 to 8 months was roughly the time frame. I think, certainly that should be our desired end state. If Americans are still suffering economically from this war, if our European allies are still in trouble because of it, we need to end it. And, my point to you has been, I don't want to be having an interview with you in 5 years' time because Putin's gone in somewhere else. We have to end this decisively, so that we're not back here with a more expensive, more deadly aggression out of him down the road.
Great point. We have heard reports that Vladimir Putin is not in good health. If he does not survive the duration of this war, what do we know about who the next man up would be? Who would take over for Vladimir Putin?
Well, betting on Vladimir Putin's health has turned into something of a parlor game. Same thing with the supreme leader in Iran. He's in year 10 of a 2-year death sentence. So I think you have to be cautious about that. But the fact of the matter is one day it will be true. And we have to be prepared. There are a series of equally vicious and thuggish oligarchs around Putin. The people he trusts, not surprisingly, are very similar to him. And so we made the mistake after the fall of the Berlin Wall of just assuming Russia would liberalize both politically and economically. But because Putin actually didn't feel defeated in the Cold War, he was able to reconstitute to some extent the authoritarian structure of the USSR. And I think we really need to work hard to make sure that doesn't happen again.
All right, Victoria Coates, great to see you again. Happy New Year. Thanks so much for coming back on. We look forward to doing it again soon.
Thank you, Rob.